even expect for this new moon in Taurus 2023. This new moon in Taurus is going to be speaking to acquiring of not just on a spiritual level, but monetary gain, financial finesse in a lot of cases. Right? For the first time in a long time, I think there's going to be a lot of power given to people as far as the things that they invest in, the things that they choose to invest in, put their time into, right? There's something about this upcoming new moon that really shows that if you put in the time or the effort, the things that you are aiming for are literally bound to happen. And we've had a very rough last few months, to be honest. Specifically in the last month and a half, it has been definitely not necessarily a fun time for the collective, considering we've had these eclipses, we've had Mercury retrograde. And Mercury retrograde was so rough because it was in the sign of Taurus, right? People having to revise what they find valuable, people having to realize how much resources that they have and how much resources that they don't have. But this was a clear, almost if I say like an audit of the soul, as far as like, hey, this is what I need to succeed. This is what I need to strive. And this is the kind of energy that I'm looking to tap into in order to make the most of my energy, right? So this new moon in Taurus, it's a little bit on the quieter end. However, this is where and why I'm trying to emphasize the power that's actually behind this new moon. Because new moons are when the moon isn't up in the sky. You look up and the sky is basically dark. It's the darkest, or also known as the quietest night of every month, right? Now, because of this is when you really start to put in your manifestations. As the moon grows and grows and becomes full moon, the concept of the full moon is releasing whatever intentions that you put in for the new moon. However, what people get wrong with the new moons is that as the moon grows, so does your efforts. As the moon starts to fill, so does your intentions. As the moon starts to become a whole piece, that's also for you to tap into. That's why I ended up kind of titling this new moon in Taurus the rags to riches moment. What is this? What's going on? What is happening in this new moon? Right? Because the rags to riches portion, I also want to have people think of this on an internal level, on a soul level, right? Because there's a feeling sometimes of not quite doing as much as maybe someone else in your field. Or let's say there's somebody who's been doing something for way longer than you, and you start to, because of the age and times that we live in, you start to compare. You start to be like, well, they did this, I did this, right? And I think we get so caught up in the illusion of that we end up actually losing some of our own motivation. We end up losing some of our own consistency that we can put towards the things that we actually care about. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that this new moon in Taurus, you have to have the perfect idea. It's 100% foolproof. However, probably would help, only considering that we're at the 28-degree mark for the sun and the moon. And I personally consider the 28-degree mark a master degree in astrology, because that's the full culmination of what that sign was doing at the time. Also, make sure everybody hit the like button, show some love and everything else like that. I'm really hyped to be doing more live streams and giving y'all the direct line of information. And I'm going to be hosting a class as well. And that's where we're going to be getting all deeper into the actual astrology, bit by bit, piece by piece. But these live streams are really intended to just get people into the energy and in the space of it. So whether you know a lot of astrology or not, this is basically the vibe, as far as like you trying to feel through what's going on. And here's some guidance in the process. You know what I mean? So I hope that you all enjoy. For those of you who are looking to get a reading from me, like sometimes I do the YouTube live stream readings. I'm not doing those today because I do want y'all to tap into the live stream tomorrow where I will be pulling cards in that same faction, but it's going to be face to face. You get to ask direct questions. It's on Zoom. It's going to be at 6 p.m. PST. So wherever you are in the world, that's going to be the time frame for it. And if you can't show up by any reason, I can simply send you the recordings. Make sure that you tap in. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out. I'm gonna actually show y'all where that is before I get into anything else. So basically, this is actually right where we're gonna be for that. And if I end up clicking through, you're on the live stream right now. If I click through, this is the new moon in Taurus one, right? So Zoom class Wednesday, May 17th, right? And this is going to be the time slot for it. The site that I'm using now is Stan Store, and it has been a terrific, easy route for people to be able to just click through, not have to worry about anything weird, no signups, nothing else like that. So I definitely want to be able to provide that value for y'all, and make sure that you tap in for a reading as well. I have a couple of my readings on sales, and I'm also working on another ebook as well with the YouTube stuff. But aside from my stuff, which I'm trying to manifest in real time as I'm saying this to y'all in this new moon in Taurus live stream, right? But the concept here is that people are going to start to strive for greater. I think there is a change that's happening right now in the status quo as far as how people are relating to things. I think we're at a state as a society almost where it's like, I know like I'm getting these ads that are targeted directly towards me, right? Or like, I see like that there's a lot of like I would even say capitalism going on. That's a whole other part of this too, right? In the consumerism of things, which is honestly very earth sign anyway. It's very like Taurus, right? Because on one end it's we're making money, and on the other end it's like you gotta spend money, right? There's a whole larger concept to this. In the new moon in Taurus, after this Mercury retrograde has happened, after this eclipse season has happened, this is like a new lane and a new way to like look and honestly manifest money, manifest the abundance that you're actually seeking. Because I think the rules of the game are starting to almost shift in a sense into the favor of, hey, if you actually put in the time, if you put in the consistency, you put in the effort, there is something or someone out there for you who enjoy it. And that's the power that Uranus and Taurus has been showing the world recently, right? Uranus and Taurus making it so people are literally shifting their ideas and their ideals towards things that are going to be fit and better for their life, right? That's when Uranus and Taurus, one of the biggest things that popped up at the time is when celebrities stopped wearing makeup for a quick minute. People were so shocked. They were like, whoa. People are just wearing like regular colors. They're not trying to be extravagant. They're wearing basic and regular things. What is this? This isn't the status quo. This isn't the luxury that we know. Taurus is also to remind you that a luxury could be a high priced item, but a luxury could just be that like one shirt you buy that you never got to replace because it's that durable, it's that good. So when it comes to your dreams, your manifestations, your wishes, what things do you want to start putting into place so things do be and stay that good, that consistent? What are you trying to make so things can flow to you better? What foundation are you trying to build so you don't have to go and seek out everything? Things just start to come to you, right? There's the quote where it's like, if you build it, they will come, right? And if you do build it, people do start to pull up, right? People, don't necessarily know this. They see a lot of the end result for people, but they're like, oh, like 5 years ago, I just graduated school, working someplace with a whole degree, having to work fast food out of circumstance. And from that point, it was like, yo, if I just constantly and consistently put in work towards this thing that I really care about, maybe this can become a thing for me. Maybe I can really do this and make this business and my life's work in a sense, right? And it's not from day one because you never see it. That's the part about it, is that you're not going to see how it's going to work until you see it start to work. I'm going to let you know right now, people aren't going to start believing in you until you actually already have shown efforts, results, when the right people start to pay attention. And it's on one end, it's like, oh, I just want them to believe in it for that. And a lot of people do. But those aren't always the people that people pay attention to now, is it? We're like, wait, but you need to find value in what I do. And it's like, do they? What are we really doing here? You know? Good evening. How you all doing? Speaking directly to you. I mean, it's one of those things that in this course of this next week, specifically on this Friday, that new moon in Taurus is going to like start to really hit and do that dance in a sense, right? So make sure that you definitely do sign up for the class, because I'm going to be breaking down everyone's astrology, everyone's, like, I'm going to be pulling for everybody a card pull. There'll be an option to tip if you want to for more, but for real, I'm not tripping on it. Just show up for the class. I really want to be able to make that direct line of communication and speak with y'all. I've been doing a lot more live readings recently, especially with the astrology transformation package that I have been doing, which is so lovely. I think you are here right now. Much love to you. But it's something that's so cool, and being able to like directly customize, right, someone's needs through the astrology, through pointing out transits, through pointing out, hey, this is the integral part of yourself. If you start to utilize this more, maybe you can do that. That's why I love doing readings. That's why I love like getting into that. So if you have the time, if you have any form, like, want to learn more about yourself and really get that customized down and directly to you, please make sure that you hit the link again and end up purchasing the reading. And if you've gotten a reading already, just know I will redo another reading because I think there's always a different interpretation every time. So don't think that that's at the end of it. Like, there's definitely always more to be able to observe with that. But aside from the point, let me start getting into a little bit of the astrology that's actually going to be popping up. I hope that y'all like to be having more of this in the class. This is just a quick little intro to what this might be like. Regardless, so the new moon in Taurus is happening directly on May 19th of 2023. And the 8:53 is AM, by the way. So if you're on the East Coast, it's going to be basically around noon is when the new Taurus is going to happen. I would treat Friday as a day where you wake up and you just are like, hey, if I can live my ideal like lifestyle, what would that look like? And I think when you implement those things on this day, because a lot of the times we have new moons at night and we like wherever, it's interesting to say, hey, by the time it's daytime, by the time you're like going out and getting something, right, this makes a whole difference. I don't know what I was getting at, but honestly, when you go out to like but like the new moon, when you go out with the intention that's already within you, that's what this class and this Wednesday is for, is helping you all figure out how to write proper intentions with these that are you. So the readings that I give is for you to figure out how you want to utilize that information to intend better for you. And I'll give different tips. Some people are great with candles. Some people need to light candles. Some people are better if they just have words of affirmation. I'm going to tell you what's going to be custom. Hop into that. Regardless, what's going on for the collective? Well, I actually accidentally pointed at something which is really interesting. But we have Pluto that's going to actually be technically making a trine over to that sun and moon Taurus, right? Which is interesting because obviously it just shifted over signs and it's going retrograde. I'm sorry. It did shift over signs, but now it's going retrograde again. So because it's going retrograde, it's going back almost to meet in the middle portion of that new energy, right? And since it's going to be doing that, new moon in Taurus is literally set up to really change and make, because it's in air on one end and in earth on the other end, this is the shifting of the sands. This is the changing of the course of the winds. This is like a windfall. Like, hey, maybe if you end up really manifesting, you can come into like a good windfall. Or hey, maybe I don't want to do anything. Maybe I'm choosing to not manifest. Maybe that fall will not be the same type of aim, so to speak, right? So the new moon in Taurus is all about intention. It's all about what you're putting out into the world. Because we have Mercury here, we have the North Node here, we have Jupiter here, we have Uranus here. So although they're in earlier positions and not technically on the new moon, just having that much Taurus energy, and as well as the Cancer energy that's going on right now, everything is just so welled up with like emotions and figuring out what we need to grow next. What we need to grow next, where, what type of, crops and what kind of food is going to be able to service and to heal longer term, right? And this is also speaking to healing of self. This is also speaking to healing of the internals and honoring the soul in this essence and where we are on this planet, because this water energy as well as this earth energy is really trying to have us find ground like find a new ground and just be like, yep, here's this, right? And this could go as far as being like, hey, I want to make my own oasis, right? This energy in this new moon in Taurus is like, do you want to make your own oasis to kind of go off into and just like be on your own, or do you want to like really build that mountain into something great? Because both of those answers are valid. Not everyone is supposed to make a business. Not everyone's supposed to do that. Some people are really supposed to just experience life. But here are the little tips and tricks that you can use in order for you to experience life in a way where you're in the captain's seat, choosing what you want to do based off of your individuality. It's my job as an astrologer to remind you, the star that you are, the energies that you have, the power that you hold within, and then watch you take off. I love seeing y'all win, to be honest. It's one of my favorite things to be so fair. So another part to this new moon in Taurus, and mind you, we're going to be talking about this fully. This is a little scoop, right? We're doing the little scoops for the live stream for the people, and just for people who may be interested in being a part of what I do. And that's why this is here. This is for the community. This is for everyone. And I'm doing this on YouTube so we can just have this as an easy way to reference, and also you can just easily send this, which is really cool too. And it's, I look kind of good. It's kind of fly. I ain't gonna lie. All right, let me stop. But yes, get a reading. Facts. Much love, y'all. But if not the reading, go to the live stream. It's gonna be fire. Regardless, the one thing that I do want to also point out, that I got another like for something. I appreciate you. Thanks. But to keep it going, right? One of the other mentions that I have to make is also making a sextile over to Mars. And Mars is actually at its end in Cancer for this new moon Taurus. And then Mars is going to be going to Leo, which is going to actually be the real start of activation for people to really fully see their value and how they're able to actually express their values. They're able to push forward things that they want to do, to be extra, to be courageous. These are the type of themes that start to pop up. But this is why this new moon in Taurus, with that literal like last bit of Mars and Cancer energy, I think this new moon is about tapping into your feelings, like really like allowing yourself to fully follow your intuition for the day. Have y'all ever done that? Actually, this is something really important. I actually wanna pull this over. My biggest hint, because if you've never done this, I suggest everyone do this for like one. You have like a day off. If you just like, whatever the case is, clear your whole schedule. Clear your whole schedule. I'm not doing anything today. And if you stop and literally only follow what your intuition leads you to do, I want to just see how cool of a day you get, right? Some days you might just chill. Some days you might end up not getting to chill because something else pops off. But it's just the concept of being able to like be in the flow enough to be like, you know what, whatever is happening today is it's supposed to show me something, teach me something. It's supposed to bring to my greater joy. Ooh, I'm giving y'all some gems on this YouTube right now. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, this is what's part of it, because you start to follow that, and that's low key like the way where people start to manifest bigger things, right? Some of the coolest stuff I've ever run into ever is just like just by going about a day-to-day thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I just went to the grocery store. Oh shoot, I just saw it. Wow, right? Now granted, I live in an area where that's like a possibility, right? But even in the process of being out in that space, it's like there was a long term slow grind, slow every little tiny moment, every little thing that has happened had led up to me being able to come out and like be in Los Angeles, start to really make moves in that capacity, right? And that's why it's really cool to be able to work with you all from anywhere too, right? I want to be able to help people find their thing they enjoy, because I was like, man, I'm gonna do this, boom. And I think that's something that, intrinsically for me, it works and it helps as an astrologer, because I'm like, here's how you could do that, or you can make whatever, or make that relationship work, or manifest that relationship to you. That's the other side of things. Right now we're in Taurus, right? But Taurus still rules Venus, so Venus rules what? Relationships, and Venus rules money. So don't get it twisted, right? Yes, with the dope visuals, much love to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm slow. I'm showing y'all the progress. It's like we just slowly doing stuff. There's a lot of work that I'm getting prepared to like really get to people. I'm just solidifying my astrology. I'm finishing up the astrology school that I'm in right now, which has been really excellent, super dope. I'm finishing that up because I'm a nerd and I will go to school for something like I just care about. Or I took a YouTube course, a full YouTube course before starting to go live again. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like, drop something. There's a lot of like learning and figuring things out that end up coming here. And for the new moon in Taurus, I really recommend for everyone to just see like what you want to do, right? Or let's say something is going on. Where do you want to like set up shop, so to speak, right? Where do I set up shop now, right? I set up shop. I use Stand Store as my thing. Videos mostly on YouTube. I'm doing obviously the short form content. That was the thing, but short form content doesn't earn creators any money at all. So when people are doing that, the best and the most lovely thing you could do is like it or share it, because there's no revenue that creators get. Even the top creators, they don't get stuff off of shorts and everything else like that now at this point, right? But that's also why I'm turning into, hey, let me make more ebooks. I'm going to be working on some custom videos and stuff like that for y'all in the future, and as well some more YouTube. So hey, that's where I'm starting to set up shop, right? Why did that come to me? I'm using myself as an example. Why did that start to come to me? Throughout the weeks of Mercury and Taurus. Because if there was anything that kept sticking out in my head that I kept having to listen to and repeat and remind myself, it's like, yo, bro, do this YouTube thing. That happened. It's like, I don't know how. It's like, that's not the point. The point isn't knowing how. The point is intending to make that happen. And also reaching further than that. Trying to be like, no, I'm taking this all the way. So it's not just like, hey, this is like a good YouTube channel. I'm like, no, I'm going to have the best astrology YouTube channel, right? And that's not a matter of oh, mine is the best, because that's obvious. No, I'm playing. Nah, but honestly, it's not like, that's not actually the point. The point behind it for real is just like, hey, like I'm going to be able to reach out for something further than I think I can accomplish, because we're in the age of Aquarius. What you think you can accomplish can be even further than you expect, because you just weren't looking at that place or looking in that space for it, right? So yeah. So let me just double back one more time. Let's get over to the website. If anyone has any questions before I just click through my website real quick about a couple of the cooler offerings that I'm having right now and the special deals I might offer as I just talk about things. So appreciate you all for being here. I always want to make sure I treat the people that are consistently and genuinely real time supporting me. I always want to treat y'all to something, because y'all are really dope for that. But let me actually get into this other bit. So like I said before, we have this new moon online class. Please sign up for this class if you have the time. It's going to be Wednesday. We're going to be breaking down all of that right now. If you haven't known about your North Node, please hit up the North Node ebook guide. As a matter of fact, if any of you all end up purchasing or reading in the next bit and you type in the comments that you were from the YouTube live, I will send you this ebook for free. And when I finish the second one, I will send you that one for free too. How about that? That's going to be my special thing for y'all. Just make sure that you just be like, got you on that 100%. This is my bread and butter. This is like, I have had nothing but excellent response from these consultations, and I'm so excited and blessed to be able to like do these. And have the time to do them, because we really do get into like so much information, and low key, because I am how I am, we usually run over a little bit than an hour, just because we really breaking down like what's going on and what's happening. I know there's a pay later option with PayPal in case anyone wants to grab one, but yeah. Question: do you have to know how to read charts to do the North Node? No, technically, no. That's exactly what that North Node is for, or the ebook is for, right? The ebook I wrote specifically as far as like understanding is that if you know nothing else in astrology, you should know your North Node, because it's the one key to transcendence. It's the key to your enlightenment. And even if you don't know the rest of your astrology, working towards that archetype changes everything. It changes so much. And then it's like you'll resist it, right? The North Node people always are resisting it because they're like, oh, I don't have to do it this way to do that. It's like, no, yes, you do, right? Yes, you do, right? That's the power behind it. So definitely check out the North Node. You don't have to know any astrology. There's two things I'm going to be working on coming up soon for people that are a little bit more intimidated by the concept of learning astrology, and I'm gonna make it super simple. And make sure y'all share it when I start posting that up on this channel. So don't even subscribe if y'all don't really need to. Just make sure y'all like it and show some love and keep it rolling the whole time, you know. What's good, Autumn Rain? Shout out Autumn Rain. We was working on, I forgot my earrings. Oh well, that's fine. But we were working on some really cool business ideas and everything else like that, as far as the music is concerned. And it's so cool to work with creatives and just dope people. It's my favorite thing. Like it's so fun. Anyway, to get back to what I was saying before I end up getting into some cards. I also have my Astro and Tarot one. That's going to be just basically 30 minutes, $80 for right now. That's going to be a sale just for throughout this new moon. So if you want to get a tarot to astrology consultation with a conversation about your transformation. Anyway, but yeah, it'll pop up for that. And if you really, the realest of them, the ultimate infinite photosynthesis with no parenthesis, temporary, very scary. Stop. But honestly, the ultimate astrology transformation package. You want a summer transformation? Do you want to literally change your life this summer? Because this is going to be one of the coolest things that you can humanly do for yourself. Because we really have 4 hour sessions. Hour sessions where we sit and we go through every part. You crack me up. Shout out to Girly. Girly in the comments right here. She ended up signing up for the astrology package, and we are on course. We are really going through and just breaking everything down from such a cool level, and also helping out with business. So that goes for like if someone's looking for business, someone's looking for a relationship, someone's looking for anything. This is what this is for. Because I realize astrology, sometimes it gets so up in the air. I'm like, no. Let me practically put you exactly where you gotta go. Let's do this. And yeah, that's just basically my quick background on all this stuff on the website. And if you want the free moon guide, click on this, and here are my affiliate links. And for people that are content people, check out my Descript. The Descript app is what I use for my shorts a lot of the time. Most of the time, honestly, or reels or whatever you want to call it, because that's where we are as a society. But make sure that y'all check those out too. Okay, so talked a lot So let me pull some cards. So I'm about to pull some cards. Make sure that y'all hit that like button over here. I'm not doing the live readings for each individual person, not the custom ones. I'm going to be doing those over in my, I'm going to be doing those live stream. Sorry, I'm reading for individual people custom when they come to my class. And so the less people in my class, the more reading you might get, the more people. We're going to go on until we get everybody on going and popping. I'm so excited. So let's get it. Y'all got till Wednesday night to order that. The sooner the better. Nah, but for real, I'm hyped. Anyway, I don't think I have a different background for this now, but that's okay. Let's pull a card for the collective. I didn't even see it yet. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands, right? I'm reading specifically off the vibe of this deck versus the super technicality, because this is this little light of mine energy that I'm really sensing here, right? This is you having to stick up and choose to be the light when everyone else wants to be the dark. This is you having to choose to be yourself when everyone else wants to be a part of the pack. This is you having to be like, yo, this is my power versus what you would normally shy away from, right? And with the High Priestess card too, this is a true call. And look at the moon in the background too. The High Priestess, this upcoming new moon in Taurus, this is a calling for people to embrace their purpose, to embrace what they're called to do, what they're called to step into and tap into for everything, right? So I haven't read for the signs in a quick minute, so I guess I'll do that for y'all today. You lucky, I love y'all. No, I'm like, let's stop. But I mean, I'm not playing that I love y'all. I'm just saying, like, I'm just be talking. Regardless, let's start off with Taurus. That's how we're gonna do it though. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's see what we got for you. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we have the Father of Swords. And what this is saying to me, Taurus, is that you're going to start to, with this new moon in Taurus, you're going to start to see definitively how much value you bring to the table. This is actually almost in a sense like, hey, I know how much this sword and this heirloom for generations is actually worth. Why are you trying to come in here and offer me less for what I know I can bring to the table, right? With this sword alone, we can go through and change the nation. Why am I going to sell it to you for something that's not worth it? I'd rather carry this. I'd rather champion this. So Taurus, don't let them take you out your power this upcoming new, because this is for you to really solidify the royalty, the kinglyhood, the queenlyhood that you have in that process, right? Bet. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna go with Virgo. We're gonna just go through the earth signs, right? Virgo. Yeah, I'm being random on purpose. Watch the whole thing through. Stop being weird. Anyway, Virgo, right? Oh, for Virgo, right? We have Sun, Moon, and Rising, by the way, for all of these. This specifically your rising. If you have the rising sign, listen to that one first, then listen to the other two. But the rising sign is the most important for this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna put it past you. So, second part, right? We have the Two of Wands. So for Virgo, this is like you're about to set forward into your own venture, your own world, but you don't see it yet. You don't see what that might look like yet. And because of that, it kind of freaks you out. And when you're just like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? It really does tend to have y'all freeze up, but the world is right in front of you. Like you're right on the precipice of making something great. And I know this Mercury retrograde did y'all dirty. And that's why the comeback from this is really going to make a difference as far as how you show your energy into this world. So Virgo, you might have to take a step back, but that's to make sure that it really happens in real time the way you actually want. Capricorn, we have the same card that I ended up pulling for the collective. And what's interesting about this is that I think underneath this Capricorn, you're kind of, with this card, I almost was go as far as to say like disturbed. There's something about this new moon Capricorn where it's like, hey, I'm letting this light shine forward, but it's like, yo, I'm really like having to deal with some more murkier thoughts, some murkier opinions that maybe you're not normally comfortable with dealing with Capricorn. Like, hey, what if they don't like me? Capricorns are normally confident. They're just like, well, we'll get the job done. It's like, well, what if they don't like me? And now Capricorn, like, am I insecure? Am I this? Like, nah, you're gonna be good. But I definitely get the premise of that. And this is trying to show you, Capricorn, you still gotta show up anyway. Just because you can't change and have the way that it looks be exactly the way you anticipate doesn't mean other people aren't going to see that value in what you do, right? That's going to be the cards for the earth signs. And in consideration of the divine feminine, and in consideration of Mother's Day being yesterday and the other day, let's shout that out and do both of the elements of the divine feminine first to get y'all going, right? So we're about to go over into water, actually. So for the water signs, let's start off with Cancer. So for Cancer, what we got for you? I keep pulling this card. It's the other side of Capricorn. And so this is a very strong message. I pulled this 3 times. Y'all see me shuffle this entire time. This 7 of Wands card it's showing up for the collective. It's showing up for Cap. It's showing up for Cancer. This is trying to show you, like, you're supposed to stick up for your endeavors. And underneath this, though, this is the differential for everyone. This is the 2 of Pentacles. And so for Cancer, it's like, unlike Cap, where it's like, hey, I gotta show up and be confident. I'm a little bit nervous. Cancer, it's like you're super confident, but you don't even know, like, you're confident about both things though, right? So the skill and what the Cancer has to go through this new moon in order to really step into their power is like either accepting the wholeness of the duality of it, or kind of embracing both in a sense, right? This is like them being like, hey, you have an option to make it work. Are you going to do this? Or are you going to do that? And you're like, both or neither. And everyone else, if they answer that, they'd be like, man, screw you, pick a side. But for you, they'll be like, tell us more on how you feel about this. And that, Cancer, is your finesse through this new moon in Taurus. So definitely make sure you keep that in mind. Regardless, for Scorpio, right? Gets into Scorpio hole. Love y'all. So 2 of Swords. So we have the 2 of Swords right here, and this is like a cross decision. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Justice, right? So here's the thing, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is truth being revealed, and this is what side of that truth you are, right? So for Scorpio, it seems as though there's going to be some. Matter of fact, Scorpio, y'all got the tea during this lunar eclipse. That's what happened, Scorpio. I ain't even gonna impress y'all. I see y'all. Much love. Scorpio got the tea. This Scorpio eclipse. And now they're like, Like, I think this is almost like Scorpio. You have to admit what you haven't done correct first, right? It's just like, I got the tea, but let me say, hey, I messed up here, did this wrong. Cool. Anyway, this person over there, like that, as long as it's done in integrity, I think. When the justice and how it's gone about is done in integrity, you're going to be well off. But if you're doing it to like kind of get back at something, it's not going to be the, just to let y'all know. Something to keep in mind for this upcoming Scorpio. Now, next one that we are going to be doing Pisces, right? So my card for Pisces, we have the Hierophant. We also have the Ace of Pentacles, right? So this is kind of like Pisces. I think this is a stance that's trying to say that you genuinely need to just take the seat. Like I think this is like you almost trying to prove too much. Like, yo, I know this, or like, yo, I'm really good at this. This is almost like yes, you're the best at this. We know. Like now you're trying to be like extra about it, and people aren't trying to listen, right? It's like when you will know someone's right, but when they start getting too preachy, you're like, bro, whatever, man. You need to stop partying and do something else. And it's like, I'm gonna go to a party today. Someone tell me what to do, right? Is that I was talking about Pisces. I'm like, why am I fake crying? I'm like, oh, I'm talking about Pisces. Okay. But the idea is, right, the Hierophant portion. The Hierophant portion here is trying to be like, yo, take the seat of your knowledge, and if you really know what you know, it won't be shaken. You don't have to overprove what you think you know, or what you think like is going on. And that's one of the main lessons that I'm seeing in this process. Just keep that in mind, Pisces. So now I'm going to I'm gonna do the fire signs because I want to. Anyway, so let's get into the fire signs, right? So for the fire signs, let's start off with Aries. Aries, let's see what we got for you. Aries, we have the 8 of Wands, which is wonderful. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is a quick change. This is honestly in almost the vein of what I made this call, which is the racks to riches. This is like the, I don't know if I got it to kaplow. You're the most valuable asset in the world. Like, and mind you, the whole point of this is keeping your head, Aries. So it's like, hey, let's say tomorrow you do come into that, right? Let's say for me, every single person in this live stream ends up before their live is over, or right after the live is over, so I don't cry on stream. but right after like the live is over, every single person in here orders a reading for the next like 2 weeks. Like that would be like, whoa, that's a lot, right? And it's when you get overwhelmed in that capacity, you can either shut down or you can learn how to manage what's going on. And so this is trying to remind you, Aries, that although there are great things happening, you still need to manage them in a way where it's going to be working for you, in a way that's going to be like really resonating with you. So keep that in mind, Aries, as we step into this new moon in Taurus. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Leo, what we got? For Leo, we got the Father of Cups, right? And this is trying to speak to an emotional connection. And on the bottom of it, we had the Daughter of Pentacles. And this is kind of like a Leo, you've been trying to take up some more, I would even say, emotional time and advancement for yourself. And there's a Daughter of Pentacles on the bottom, which is someone who's like, hey, don't want to bug you, but hi. Hey, don't want to bug you, but how you doing? Hey, what you doing over there? Doe. What's up? Doe. What up, Doe? Get it? Because it's Doe. Anyway, but the Father of Cups is like, I'm just trying to chill and feel my feelings. I'm just trying to like, coast, man. I'm just trying to kick it, And so now it gets to the point, and now it gets to this energy, right? For you, where it's like, okay, if this is the energy going on, if this is the vibe going on, how are you going to properly tell those people how you feel? Like if you need to have that energy, if you need to have that connection, this is up for you to really explain that. You have to remind you missed it. It's going to be at the, let me check the time for you. It's going to be right around the 40-minute mark, just to let you know, Girly. You know what I'm saying? I use the usernames because they're there. Regardless, listen, baby, LOL, facts. So for Sagittarius, let's see what we got. So for Sag, we have the 4 of Wands, right? And so what I'm getting with the 4 of Wands is like, this is a call and a need to almost like slow down enough. This is like slowing down enough to actually see the vision. I think that's really what this is. This is like, hey, you may have those things in order to like, you may know what you need to go and like implement. You may know what you need to go and bring things up and bring things into, right? But it's kind of like, this is you trying to see the whole vision through. And what the 4 of Wands, normally it's just like celebration. So this is like, Sag, don't forget to celebrate how far you've actually come, the things that you've actually accomplished, right? Because you might be worried on the other end about the financial side. You may be worried more about the side where it comes to feeling like you're wealthy. But I think people are seeing the best in you, so you should celebrate that versus just being like, well, it's not how I thought it would look. That's something that I think is supposed to be really important for Sag coming for this new moon of Taurus. Value those around you and celebrate everything in life, and that's going to bridge to better manifestation in the future, especially with Jupiter. Air signs. That's it's like, why am I doing this with my mouth? Oh yeah, air signs. So let's talk about my favorite airheads of the zodiac. Love y'all. I really do love air signs, to be honest. Y'all are cool sometimes, I guess. Anyway, so let's get to it. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's get Gemini first, right? So for Gemini, bam! I don't know what it is yet. It is the 9 of Cups. So Gemini, I think there's and a full card at the bottom. I was about to say, I think there's a time frame, Gemini, for you to dream. And I low-key think all these card pulls resonate with the houses that are actually happening too. But that's besides the point. I do my job. I'm good at what I do. That needs to be said. Please order a reading. You're the best. You're so great. You know. Anyway, so this is going to be the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is because you're a Sagittarius. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, so the 9 of Cups, right? This specifically is trying to tell you, yo, make sure that you tap into the vivid portion of your dreams and be willing to, like, when they start to pop up, be willing to be like, yeah, sure, right? If there's someone you want to get into fashion and you know someone that gets a ticket to a fashion show, this is not the time for you to be like, I know you have another ticket. I'll just like go some other time. Like, no, go with them. Like, go with them, figure it out. That's the kind of energy that I need to see from y'all, Gemini, because there's one thing to dream the dream, and this is trying to tell you that and remind you to act the dream out just a little bit, right? Libra. Got for you, Libra. Libra, you got the Ace of Swords? You got the Ace of Swords, Libra. Okay, I see y'all. At the bottom of the deck, same thing. It's like you're supposed to celebrate. This is like just you celebrating. Libra, I think you have to celebrate legitimately, like for real this time. How far you've actually gone when it comes to things, and just be like, you want to know what? I made it. I did it. I'm doing it. It's good, right? And the Ace of Swords is literally like, yo, you can, if you celebrate properly, Libra, you're going to be able to do whatever you want. I think there's a certain amount of joy that needs to come into your like life and into your frame in order for you to fully go through and be like, I have the power, like on some He-Man type beat. Shout out to Pluto and Scorpio for telling us about He-Man. Regardless, that's kind of the vibe that I'm sensing here. But it's basically like Ace of Swords trying to show you, Libra, like the words are mighty powerful. Don't be afraid to express them. Now I have the card that fell on the floor. Card that fell on the floor. Aquarius. No, it is for Aquarius though. And this is going to be the Mother of Wands, Aquarius, right? So this is trying to remind you that you are just as strong as your creative forces, if not stronger, because you're the one that has to hold it, right? I think with the Mother of Wands specifically for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this is you like having to fully understand and realize and utilize the talents and tools that you have right in front of you. This is like, hey, I'm using right now like an old camera, using the camera off of what can you pick up around and like repurpose? What can you see from your past and bring back in? I think this Mercury retrograde did y'all for a doozy, but this is trying to now show you, yo, here's what you can push forward. And as long as you start to follow the dream and everything else that comes along with that, you're going to be set. And the last one for this entire collective is actually the Tower. So I think this is significant because I pulled it, duh. No, but I think this is honestly significant because the Tower portion doesn't speak to me as like a, oh no, it's all gone. This speaks to me as things clearing out so you can literally build them exactly how you want and you can build the wealth that you're aiming for. And that's exactly what the lesson of this Taurus is. It's like, when things crumble that aren't meant for you, is so you can rebuild on those areas that things didn't fall apart. Say, man, now that I don't have to deal with this thing, I have a lot more time on my hands. Well, what you gonna do with that time? Are you gonna use it to be like, oh, this used to be a time where I would do that? Or are you gonna be like, oh, I got time, shoot, let me actually do something more productive and work towards this longer dream that I have. Now, mind you, for the pure manifestation notes, for the real background, etc., we're going to be doing that all over one more time on this manifestation secrets class and workshop in 2 days. So if you see this right now, I have the link at the top of my bio down in the description. So if you want to click that, hop in for it. It's 15 for right now. My goal is to make it 11 for everyone else moving forward after this new moon and full moon cycle. But the new moon in Taurus was like, hey, yo, do this the way, because I want to be able to bring in a bunch of people, and I have like hundreds of people in the Zoom call really just getting and vibing and getting ready for the manifestation. And the more of us come together for something like that, And this is just like, mind you, I go over sometimes, like I'll go over like certain things. The point of entry and the point of like, hey, I respect your work is just the ticket price, and the value that you get is usually 10 times as much to a lot of others, respectfully. So pull up if you there. This is a proper send off of this new moon in Taurus. Make sure that you send this over to a friend, a crush, somebody who you think would enjoy this, and make sure that you tap in for everything else. I'm actually going to say bye from right here. I think this is cooler if I do. So much love to you all. I appreciate you all for being here, and until next time, I'll be catching you all later. And if you have any questions for me specifically, make sure that you hit me up on Instagram about it, or email me, but I do respond to the Instagrams. Just make sure, hey, a live stream, let me know. I'm showing love. So much love to you all, and I'll see y'all next time. And I'll see you on Wednesday, 6 p.m. PST. Sign up right now.